Hi, it's Hayley and welcome to my statistical investigation for Education 3625. For this investigation, I decided to use the question, do Year 5 students sleep more than Year 7 students? The distinct groups being year levels and the numerical data being hours of sleep. For the purpose of the investigation, this video will focus on where the data was sourced, the data representations including a table, a stem and leaf plot, dot chart, double bar graph and sector graphs, significant figures including Excel calculations and figure representations, and a brief discussion and conclusion. The data for this investigation was collected from the 2014 Australian Bureau of Statistics Census at School Random Sample Report. The data was selected by question of sex, year level and hours of sleep. To ensure the test was fair, I decided to choose a sample size of 100 students. Ideally, this allowed for 50 students per variable. Data representations. Once the data was downloaded and entered into a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet, I was able to organise it accordingly. To begin with, I decided to sort the data based on the two year levels, Year 5 and Year 7. I then divided the data up into two columns and again divided it based on the sex of the participants. By this stage, I had 4 columns of data labelled. While this in itself was reasonably organised, I decided to list the numbers in numerical order, which helped me during the analysis stage of the investigation. I attempted to sort out the data in a back-to-back stem and leaf plot. For this to look somewhat attractive, I needed to convert the original statistics into minutes. Nevertheless, this visual representation looked messy, and I couldn't make instant comparisons between the Year 5 and Year 7 students. As you can see, there were too many numbers in the same row, and the conversion was too hard to understand. Making things a little easier to understand and compare was a dot plot, as you can visually see the two highest scores and the most common amount of sleep each year level receives. Notably, for this graph to be created, I needed to group the students up depending on their response to question 19 on the Australian Bureau of Statistics Census at School homepage. Similar to the dot plot is a double bar graph. Personally, this is one of my favourite, as it explicitly draws attention to the most common amount of sleep within each year level. Unlike the stem and leaf plot, this graph helps the audience visualise the main points of the data. Notably, I also created 2 bar graphs to see if there was a difference between sexes. The sector graph also shows a good representation of the data, as it instantly draws your attention to the larger portion of the graph. I added in the percentage of each segment so the audience could obtain a better understanding of the data. Ideally, this chart was efficient and it was an easy way to represent numerical data. Significant figures. To ensure the charts, graphs and plots were representing the correct information, I decided to also calculate the mean, median, mode range on Microsoft Excel. I entered the following equations into individual cells and pressed enter. The program formulated the rest. Looking at the present data, it is clear that by both measures, namely mean and median, average daily sleep duration from Year 5 to Year 7 gradually decreases. Mean sleep duration for females decreases by 0.6 of an hour, and mean sleep duration for males decreased by 0.2% of an hour. Together, the mean decreases by 0.3 of an hour. The median suggests that Year 5 students sleep more than Year 7 students, with a difference in both female and males of 1 hour. The model group supports this statement only in regards to female sleep duration. The model group for male population remains consistent. The results demonstrate that in the 2 years from Year 5 to Year 7, students' average daily sleep duration decreases. Female sleep duration decreases by 36 minutes and male sleep duration decreases by 12 minutes. Overall, students' average sleep duration decreases by 18 minutes. According to the National Sleep Foundation, students in Year 5 are recommended to sleep between 10 and 11 hours a night, whereas students in Year 7 are recommended to sleep between 8.5 to 9.5 hours each night. So essentially, both variables are receiving the right amount of sleep for their age brackets. Woohoo! Thanks for watching!
Created using Powtoon.